My father, Yu Dong, is a senior editor and columnist at China's Guangming Daily. He is now the most senior and one of the best-known journalists in detention in China today. He was initially detained in February 2022 while having lunch with a Japanese diplomat. The diplomat was later released, but my father was charged with espionage and was later convicted and sentenced to 7 years in prison. From what we know, there is no evidence pointing to any alleged espionage. We believe it is a case where the authorities use a national security charge to target journalists for their work. My father was a journalist for 35 years, all of his career. He participated in the 1989 Tiananmen protests and was later sent down to a factory for hard labor for 1 year as punishment. Later, he co-edited a book called Political China, which called for political reforms in China, and that book was later banned by the authorities. As a columnist, he also contributed to the New York Times Chinese website, as well as historical journals in China, such as China Through the Ages. A lot of his writings were censored, and some of his writings calling for democracy, constitutionalism, and government accountability got him into trouble with the authorities. That is why we believe just before he was set to retire, the authorities targeted him and tried to silence him. Currently, he is being held in a prison about a 2-hour drive from our home outside of Beijing. He recently moved there, and my mother was able to visit him for the first time there. Before that, for more than 3 years, we were not allowed to see him. We were not even able to call him. It was only last November when he finally transferred from a detention facility to a prison that family members could finally see him. He had lost a lot of weight due to poor nutrition and the lack of sunlight. He has chronic liver problems, high blood pressure, but those were not being taken care of in the prison. Currently, he is subject to prison labor for as long as 8 hours or even more every day. And we are highly concerned about his nutrition, the lack of protein, lack of nutrients, vitamins in his diet, as well as his advanced age. Furthermore, the prison does not allow him to receive books to which he is entitled. These are books that are officially published in China. Those are not banned, but the prison still prevents him from getting those books from the family. So these are very difficult circumstances for him and for our family. And that is why we hope that in the upcoming summit between President Trump and President Xi Jinping, issues such as human rights and press freedom can still be raised, and that the two countries can still show their commitments to these values, and hopefully journalists like my father can be released unconditionally.